What is up, everybody? My name is ShaunaHugh99. It is Friday. That means two things. One, the world's longest NHL draft. My God, is it boring? My God, is it taking forever? Is taking place right now. Go Jets, go. Two, that means it's time for VVHL LiveWire, and I am here with two of the best beauties in the business right now. Starting things off alphabetically, we've got Mr. Backblast Dan. How you doing, buddy?
Hola, hola, hola. Week 7 is in the books. We're about to have a little break and then a slugfest for playoff spots and seeding to follow. I'm very, very excited.
Oh, man, we are. Once we get into the standings, that's when I'm going to start screaming into the mic because it is way too exciting. And we got Nate Farms jumping in early with a tier 1 subscription for 7 months. Thank you so much, Nate. As always, same spiel. Got to say it every time. Every red penny we get goes right back into the league. So everybody give a big hand and a round of applause to Nate Farms. Thank you so much, buddy. We got Vince saying last week incoming. Yes, sir. Showstopper saying Cowabunga dudes. Yes, sir, indeed. It is going to be an exciting week. Luckily, we've also got this beautiful man right here to help us talk about it. It's Mr. Wednesday himself, Mr. Wax Poetic. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It's Friday, everybody. We made it.
We did it. We did
That's
it.
all. Go us. Congratulations, everyone.
Go us. And what a week 7 it was. We are 1 week away from the playoffs, and it is a tight race through and through. But also, just to reiterate, we are away next week. We have Canada Day and the 4th of July in the same week. We're shutting everything down. 3s, 6s, the whole shebang, all for 1 week. Enjoy the time off. Enjoy time with your family. We appreciate it. We love the heck out of all you. We love our community. But also, you know, if you're jonesing for some games, I'm sure we'll have something going. There's always stuff going on in the LFG. I'm off till Thursday, so I'm going to be around. Oh, yeah. Gentlemen, what a week 7. Let's get right into the scores here. We got the Money Shots over the Cheesecakes 6-5. The Sewer Kings over the Lost Boys at 6-4. Man, you guys have been on a roll. The Slicers starting off their week strong, 8-2 over Himmytown, and with the Snipers making a statement game against their rival Hangry Moose 10-1. The Tribe 7-6 over the Dutchman. That was a huge game. That was back and forth. That was a real fun one. The Dragons starting their week off strong, 7-0 over the Degenerates. The Angry Birds also, starting their week strong, 10-6. Dan, you guys on the Sewer Kings, absolutely rolling. How's things going over there? Well, Sean, I think actually the Degenerates are probably the
Sorry,
better team.
unmute. No, first off, shout out to my Sewer Kings, Cowabunga. Man, we've I think as a squad we've hit the right amount of chem. We're having a really good time. I don't think we've had the same lines once in that entire span, and that's kind of encouraging as well. Everybody's playing with each other, passing galore, and tough matchups throughout. So we're excited going into the playoffs and finishing out the regular season strong. But man, it's been a fun run.
And we are not even close to figure out who you guys are going to be playing in the first round. The standings are all over the place. Wax, yourself as well. The Tribe 7-6 over the Dutchman. That was one hell of a game. I forget. Yeah, you were in on Monday. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy one, back and forth game. I believe that one went to overtime. And then we had a nice little passing play from the point down to the right side, and then right over to the left side for a 1T. Finish the deal, but. No, it was actually something we had drawn up. So it was a set play that we had worked on, and just all came together. And it's beautiful when that happens.
I remember it now. And
it was a heck of a game.
That was a hell of a goal. Yeah. And on to the 9:45 time slot. The Sewer Kings keep rolling, 8-2 over the Muddy Shots. The Slicers 4-2 over the Cheesecakes. The Snipers keep rolling, 9-2 over Lost Boys, another team that's close to them in the standings. The Tribe, 2-0 on the week, 9-2 over Himmytown. Hangry Moose rebound with a big win over the Blue Dragons, and that is going to really affect seeding later on. Bravehearts, 10-6 over the Dutchman. And the Angry Birds, 9-4 over the Degenerates. And when I feel like I should have showed the standings first. But looking back at some of these scores, it is crazy to see where we are right now, given the volatility in wins and losses and back and forth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that was something on Wednesday I was keeping my eye on because we had pulled up the standings as well, and I know the Bravehearts were there. I mean, they're within striking distance and really needed to have a strong finish to their week. I know these are the Tuesday games, but this is just evidence of how hard they've been playing to try to get into that conversation and try to climb up the standings a little bit. So I thought those are big games, and it's against big opponents. Yeah. But yeah, we got lots of storylines coming out all over the place. Snipers making a crazy ascent. Sewer Kings, man, after the first couple weeks there, once they got rid of some dead weight, I mean, they really seemed to, turn into a different team, but they've been cruising. And then Sean, yeah, I'm sure, it might be keeping you up late at night. Might be losing some more hair, but I know you're hanging on right now to that. I don't actually know what the standings are right now, but I know you were hanging on to that last 8 seed stuff, and you got a lot of teams gunning for it, so it's gonna be tough to fend them all off. I don't envy you.
Take your toughest scenario, multiply it by 2, and add a Flying Dutchman team. That's where we're at right now. It is going to be a race till the end. Looking at the 10:15 time slot on Tuesday, the Lost Boys go 1-2 on the night. They take out a big win over the Cheesegates 5-4. Money Shots over Himmytown 9-8. That was a fun one. I remember we were watching that one on stream. That was a good one. Sewer Kings take it to a Hangry Moose that also went 1-2 on the night, 11-6. Slicers, I believe, potentially go 3-0 there, 5-4 over the Dutchman. And the Degenerates fall to a Snipers team that was just on a roll all night, 9-2. Speaking of 9-2s, the Tribe over the Bravehearts, same score. They continue rolling. And the Blue Dragons and the Angry Birds just had a back and forth one that was really fun. Dragons ultimately taking that one 12-9. Dan, is that 3-0 for the Sewer Kings there?
3-0 for the Sewer Kings from Tuesday night. We had a really good night. Just very, very tough opponents, and the Hangry Moose were no different. I think that score is a little bit deceiving to the actual game itself, but yeah, tough night, great night for the Sewer Kings.
Moving on to Wax Wednesdays, the Snipers keep rolling, 4-0 on the week for them, 11-3 over the Angry Birds. The Slicers steal one off the Tribe here, 5-4. I believe that was overtime as well. Blue Dragons and the Sewer Kings. Finally, the Sewer Kings. Was that in regulation, Dan? Do you know?
It was right at the end.
Right at the end. So the Sewer Kings finally lose in regulation, 8-7 by the Blue Dragons. Bravehearts win a big one over the Money Shots, 8-7. The Degenerates taking game one of the night, 10-4 over the Cheesegates. Dutchmen fall to the Lost Boys, 6-4. And the Hangry Moose fall to the Huskies, 11-5. Wax, I don't know what games you had on stream there on Wednesday, but what happened in 9:15?
Yeah, some crazy shenanigans. Yeah, there's I believe that was an overtime game, or it was similar. Yeah, maybe I was confusing it with the Sewer Kings one, but I know there was something that happened there right at the end of the game. So that was a real interesting one. Those teams battling it out. The Bravehearts, and again, that was something I was kind of talking about before we started watching the games, was the Bravehearts being in striking distance. And I think we had that game on as well. So that was a big one for them. Definitely helps make their case for a playoff spot. Degenerates needing to come out and secure their 8th seed, at least at that point. So a big win over the Cheesegates. Lost Boys, I feel like, we talked about them kind of in the middle of the season. They just kind of went on a little bit of a surge, and they're still playing really, really well. But I feel like it's a team that people are sleeping on and or forgetting about. But I'm pretty sure they're going to remind everybody when they get into the playoffs. And then the Himmytown Huskies. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get from them, other than it's going to be a tough game. And I think the Hangry Moose found out the hard way on that one. 11-5, yeah, Himmytown got it done. So yeah, I mean, it was a good first set of games. But I don't actually remember what we had on. They were all good. I don't know.
Well, that Himmytown team definitely came out to play that night. And I'll explain why in just a few moments here. Oh, there's a burp stuck. This is a professional operation. It went back down. We're fine. The Slicers, 12-7 over the Angry Birds. To start off the... Oh, here it comes. No, we're fine. I'm fine, I swear. Slicers 12-7 over the Angry Birds to start things off. Sewer Kings back on their winning ways 4-3 over the Snipers, handing the Snipers their first loss of week 7. The Tribe rolling along 10-1 over the Money Shots. Dragons as well 9-1 over the Cheeseskates. Bravehearts 3-0 over the Lost Boys. That was that an actual 3-0? There was something with that game. I'm just get skeptical because 3-0 is the default. If anybody was a part of that game, let me know what happened there. Because I feel like I have to go update a score now. But that Himmytown Huskies squad keeps rolling, and they roll over the Degenerates 10-6 in Game 2. Degenerates having themselves a bit of a rough week. We'll talk about that one after the next game. And the Dutchmen over the Hangry Moose, big win for them, 8-6. Dan, one game left in week 7.
Yeah.
Lots of teams needing a win. Lots of teams taking some tough losses in this spot here. What are we seeing?
I mean, I look at teams like the Angry Birds. The Slicers have been really, really hot over the past few weeks, and honestly, throughout the season in spurts. I think Hoagie and the boys, gentlemen and ladies, have really made sure that I think that they're figuring out what lines work with who. They're getting their chem right, and a Slicers team in the playoffs is misery for all. So they're it looks like they're going to be in. That's a big win over the Angry Birds. The Angry Birds have been fighting back. Jaybird and Infinite have really kept that team within arm's reach of a playoff spot. I think they're mathematically still alive. We'll go into that, but that was a big game for the Slicers and for the Angry Birds. So that's one that really sticks out. That hurts for the Birds, and for the Slicers, it's that momentum. And putting up 12 goals in a game is always impressive. I got a hunch that Hoagie was playing. I got a hunch.
I know what happened now. That Lost Boys Bravehearts game actually hasn't been played yet. They played the first period, ran into some networking difficulties.
That's right.
I believe they found time next week to have that game played, in which point we will get the API to push the game through afterwards, and we'll have a full view there.
We should have them play in a special arena, with special jerseys. Let's do let's go all out for it. Let's find out when that is. We throw that one up. That'd be nice. All eyes on the reschedule.
Oh, I guess that would affect the standings that I have here then too. Yes.
Yeah, but we'll
get into that right away.
We'll charge. We'll just charge right through. You know what I mean? We'll charge. It'll change next week. Next LiveWire.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Figured it out. Nailed it.
This is called Solving Problems on the Fly. We got the Tribe over the Angry Birds 11-1 to start off the 10-15 time slot. Snipers over the Blue Dragons 3-2. Slicers fall to the Bravehearts 9-7. The Degenerates fall to the Sewer Kings 6-5 in a last 30-second goal that hurt my feelings so much, and I'm not done talking about it. The Flying Dutchman take down the Money Shot 7-6. The Hangry Moose over the Cheeseskates 3-0. That one was a forfeit, I believe, at that point. So that is a correct 3-0. And the Lost Boys rebound hard in the third game, 6-3 over a very tough Himmytown Husky squad. So, gentlemen, a lot of games, a lot of crazy wins, left, right, and center. Where does that put us right now heading into the last week of the season? We have got the Tampa Bay Tribe still on top, 92 points, 31-9-2. The Blue Dragons 1 point behind, 39-3. The South Beach Snipers within one win of the top spot, 30-10-2 for 89 points. The Sewer Kings and the Hangry Moose tied with 84 points apiece. The Slicers just behind with 73. The Lost Boys with 72. And then we have a nightmare scenario for my sanity. We have got the Bravehearts, the Degenerates, and the Flying Dutchman all tied for that last playoff spot with 56 points apiece. Now, the one thing with that is the Bravehearts still are technically at 53 points right now with a game in hand. The API marked it down as a Bravehearts win and gave them the 3 points, and that's what's reflected here. So they are actually at 53. They will be at 56 if they win that scheduled game against the Lost Boys, and then we will have this 3-way tie. But either way, I can tell you I'm not okay, and I'm hyperventilating a lot. Gentlemen, these standings are crazy.
Yeah, so 14 teams. Someone's like, hey guys, you know what we should do? We should expand the league again. And I'm looking at this, and I look at from a point standpoint. I mean, congratulations to the Tribe, the Dragons, Snipers, the Kings, the Moose. I would say are all feeling comfortable as far as, hey, we're in the playoffs. It's really about seeding. The Slicers, Lost Boys, and Bravehearts, and Degenerates, and Dutchmen, and even the Angry Birds and Himmytown are all fighting for the tail end, man, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. Well, we have that additional game that's gonna be very, very big as far as what was it, Bravehearts, and who was the other team? I'm sorry,
what?
who was the other team?
Bravehearts, Degenerates, and Dutchmen.
No. As far as for the rematch for the
it's the Lost Boys. Yeah. So the Lost Boys actually could be in 6th place right here because they do technically have a loss on their record just for the game that hasn't played yet. So
yes, technically they could be. So it's going to be an insane fish. I have no clue. What we really should do is we should just pull up the schedule for next week and look at that, Sean. We should just start talking about matchups. That'll be the next live wire. We'll do one just week 8 preview. Oof.
Well, oof. I mean, what we could do is look at the 3 teams at the bottom fighting for that spot and see who they are going to be playing here. Let me bring that's a really good idea.
Man, listen. Sometimes you sit in the backyard, you hop on a stream, you get a little room, you observe the stars, you check out your tomatoes, and we talk VVHL action, and playoffs are coming. And I'm pumped. It's going to be a fun, bittersweet week next week because we're going to be everybody's going to be out celebrating. I'm sure the servers, LFG will be popping. But we're delaying the finale of all this. So it'll be funny to see who's available and who's not available in the LFGs, because who's actually playing chem games prepping for this final week, or who's just, hey, we got this, we're fine. I'm in LFGs this week. It's going to be interesting.
Are we doing LFGs this week?
Oh, yeah. What do you think, Sean? We should run chem games?
Yeah.
Who's available 9 at Monday?
Who could play a 1:15 in the afternoon game on Sunday?
Hey guys, I'm taking a 2-hour break from work. That's me.
Yeah, that's right. It's playoffs, David. Okay, that's why.
Sorry, G-Wit says let's just get it over with already. And you know what? For G-Wits, I understand.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Cheesegates. Now I know there's not the season that y'all wanted. Finish strong.
So I know there is one storyline here for sure that's kicking off. So let's just take a look at the standings. The Degenerates to start things off. Well, they start things off against the Tampa Bay Tribe. And that's bad.
That's news. A good start. That's how you warm up. That's a good warm up.
Yeah.
When I'm like, you know what, JG won't be ready. You know what I mean? He'll be like, he won't be ready.
No, historically, I've done so well against JG in very, very like must-win scenarios. Yeah. No.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it.
But who do they play the next 2 games after that? The Dutchmen and then the Bravehearts, the 2 teams that they are going head-to-head against in their spot. So we might have some games picked out for Tuesday already that we're going to have on stream.
These look nice. I like it.
And then on Wednesday, they've got a date with the ever so dangerous Slicers, the Lost Boys, and then the Money Shots. So it's not an easy setup. But I will say, heading into playoffs, if we're able to pull that off, going into the playoffs with that chip on our back is going to feel awesome.
G-Wit says you got to watch Cheesegate's game. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Johnny, put him in a body bag.
Little Mutant League hockey out there. Looking at the Dutchmen, well, they are starting things off in a tough game as well against the South Beach Snipers. Then they played the Degenerates in game 2, followed by the Blue Dragons in game 3. So that is a tough set of games there for the Dutchmen. On that Wednesday, they're then getting a date with the Sewer Kings, the Himmy Huskies, and then the Philly Cheesecakes. So their Wednesday is looking significantly different from their Tuesday, but everything is one big must win. I feel like 4-2 might not even cut it for a team. So,
and that is a tough. And G-Wits in our chat, their last game of the season, G-Wits is calling for a bloodbath. Yeah. That'll be a good one.
Yes, sir. Bravehearts, not any easier for them. Blue Dragons game 1, the Hangry Moose game 2, and then the Degenerates game 3. So that 2 sets of games right there, especially with the Degenerates being both of them, it's so monumental for how this game's gonna go.
And then the back end Snipers.
Yeah. Snipers, Cheesecakes,
Sewer Kings to finish out.
Yeah. So it is gonna come down to the wire for sure.
It's gonna be interesting lines. I mean, it'll be interesting how they mix up lines. Is a team, are some of these teams like, hey, let's treat it like playoff hockey, and do you check egos aside and put the best lines out there as a group decision? It's been done before. Some teams have like, hey, playoff scenario. I can tell you, I've been in locker rooms like, hey, I don't care if I'm the guy playing. I want in the playoffs. I want to see Hoagie out there. I'm not the guy. You know what I mean? I want Wax to be playing defense. I don't want to be playing defense. I want my best lines out there to make sure I've got the best opportunity. So we're going to see. Are we going to be trying? I'm super, super excited because last season, what did it come down to, Wax? How many teams did we have? Because I was on one of those teams. I was on the Mike Hawks, and we squeaked in. But there was 4 teams vying in the last day, for the last 2 spots. It was bananas.
It was over until the second last game of the season.
Yep, and it was that game could have gone either way. So it's gonna be awesome, man. And shout out to the Cheesecakes, the money shot. They're not going to be going forward in the playoffs, but great season, finish out strong, and the good news is there's more seasons to come. There's a lot of hockey to be had coming up, so just hang tight. There'll be a lot to play for.
Yeah, fortunately, just every season some teams gonna fall into that trap, and we've all been there, and just makes you hungrier for next season. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at our stat leaders heading into the last week of the season. Caustic has taken over the point lead, and he is running strong. 189 points for him. Carney, I always say it, not a surprise to see him in this spot. 171 points for him. Hoagie's been in the top 3 for the longest time. He's still there with 168. Mewtwo with 161. Zephyrius with 153. Boss Game, shout out Boss Game TV, 152. Crave Dog with 148. Mikey PT with 142. Biggie Otis with 125. And Mayers with 124. Big ups to Caustic. 189 points on the season. Probably going to hit 200.
That's so crazy, man. What a season. And he's just a overall good locker room presence too. And I think the South Beach Snipers are having a hell of a lot of fun. I think that goes into it. I mean, they've got a lot of skilled players. Caustic is leading the way from the front. He drafted a hell of a team. But I think they've got the camaraderie going, and I think those boys are raring for the playoffs. So hats off to him. What a season, man.
Said he's saying 32 games played, so actually only 2 more than second place. Okay, all right, I see what's going on. All right. Either way, it's going to be a battle. It is going to be a battle right up until the end of the season. Looking at goal leaders, Caustic still at the top there, 119, and Carney just behind him with 104. The only 2 in the triple digits. Hoagie with 96. We got Crave Dog with 92. Boss Games with 87. Mewtwo with 84. Mayors with 79. Scub Daddy with 77. Crazy with 76. And Swoley Mammoth with 72.
What?
Adrenaline in my soul.
Something Cody Road.
Don't forget to buy a t-shirt. Assist leaders wise, Hatfield has been up there in this category the whole time. Big pickup for the Slicers.
What a
This past
season he's having.
Absolutely.
Monster defensive season. I think he wasn't pleased with how last season went for him. I think stat-wise, the guy is one defensive player of our league before.
Yes, sir.
And it's always good to see my man Hatfield up near the top of any category. Gives me a little tickle.
little old tickle.
Shout out to the D-men.
We got Mowski in the second spot with 90. JG of those Tampa Bay Tribe with 88. Backblast Dan, shout out Backblast Dan, 84. Zephyrius with 82. Octo Daddy with 81. We got Booyah Achieved and Infinite Madness. Shout out Infinite Madness for not only being a great human being, but for making these awesome graphics for us week in and week out.
Great season, too. Again,
week
hell of
in,
a D-man.
Week out. Him and Booyah Achieved is tied for 7th with 80 apiece. Mewtwo with 77 and Mikey PT, the goal scorer that he is, putting up 75 assists.
And he feeds, man.
Additional.
Awesome forward, man. Awesome, unselfish, just deadly forward. I hate playing him.
And I think I know why they're going to be calling it a bloodbath, because we have got a 2-man race for the hit leader, and it is only divided by 6. And it is 2 of the hardest hitting MFers in this league. We got G-Wits, MFer, with 290. And right behind him, Jaybird04, MFer, with 284. Back to back. I know these guys each have one hitting championship, I believe.
I'm just saying, can we somehow just make an emergency trade? Like, come on, we gotta have a little pull here, boys. 3 of us. Let's get G-Wits on the birds and just make it happen. Let's get Mazer too. Mazer, G-Wits. I want the dream line at some point. We need it in a tournament. We need Mazer, G-Wits, and Jaybird on a line with Coronado, who just throws it out every time. That's what we need.
Anything's possible with the power of friendship and some corruption.
Listen, make this happen. Whoever's watching, tag them in the chat. Be like, listen, y'all 3 versus if someone take those boys on, it'll be hilarious.
All-star game. Hey, now that can be something, you know?
Hitters versus shooters. There you go,
4
Daddy.
teams
I
in the
love
All-Star
that.
game?
The Blood Bowl. G-Wits, let's go.
This is right. Somebody's got to write this down. I like this. I like this a lot.
It's documented. It's on the chat. This is great. Challenge accepted by the showstopper. Let's go.
Man. I love it. I love it. Looking on the defensive side of things here, we've got Crave Dog leading the interceptions. He's got 208. Right behind him with 205 is Maximus of those Sewer Kings. Infinite Madness there as well. 196 for him. Good for the 3rd spot. Mewtwo with 186. JG with 184. Sean Game Boy with 179. Ovi the Great with 176. Tied with Mr. Wax Poetic himself. Good for 7th. Mowski with 176 as well. Also tied, because I don't read ahead. And Caustic with 173. Wax. Pretty damn impressive defensive season so far. Well done, buddy.
Well done, man. Same thing with John. I want to give a shout out to John Game Boy.
Oh yeah,
that dude's quiet, always super positive in chat. Hell of a D-man, and he's just feeding those moves all season. And I think, well, spoiler, he's a good block guy too. I like that. I like a D-man who can block.
We'll find that right away. But first, we got to talk about these pesky takeaways. And it's Mewtwo at the top. We got a pair of snipers. Slicers. I keep mixing them up. Snipers at the top here. 1 and 2, Mewtwo and Caustic, 116 and 113 respectively. Why Am I So Raw tied with Hoagie and JG for 3rd, 112 apiece. Hatfield and Crave Dog tied for 6th at 110. G-Wits with 107, Mayors with 101, and Mowski with an even 100. Shout out to the takeaway leaders heading into the last week.
Love it.
On the
I mean,
block. Ooh, go ahead.
Muse having a monster season coming in, 116 takeaways, and right there with Caustic, those boys are they're having fun at South Beach. They're enjoying themselves down there.
Looking on the block shot side of things, Coffee Time. Shout out Coffee Time. He was here, season 2, I want to say. That's when he joined.
Yeah.
Of those Philly Cheesegates, he's in the top spot with 49. Kaner with 42. Wax Poetic. Shout out Wax with 39. Buck Neeson, talking about shout outs. Let's shout out Mr. Buck Neeson himself. 37. We got to throw a shout out to Backlash Dan here with 36. And now I'm stuck in this loop where I have to give a shout out to everybody because I've said too many names in a row. Shout out KD with 34. Shout out with that man Jay 31. Shout out Not Luigi with 29. And shout out Infinite Madness 29. Tied for shout out 8th place. And Why Am I So Raw? Shout out that guy AA 28. All right, there we go.
We're so good at show.
Backed myself into a corner on that one. Looking at the goalies. Yo-Yo Hockey has been up there for a while, and he has been killing it. Tampa putting out another top goaltending performance. He has gotten 8-10 on the season. Bulky Micro with a 790. Vin with a 770. We got the trio of Dragons here. We got Vin with a 770, Section 8 with a 750, and Easy Dunk with a 750. Tied also with Aquino and Tunic. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Tied for the 4 spot. Coronado, speaking of shout-outs, that man's a beautiful man. Hemmingtown Huskies, Coronado, 740, tied with J-Men Fish of the Snipers. And Gritty, shout-out Gritty as well, 730.
Someone also said shout-out to Kino's Internet.
Yeah, hey, shout out me for fixing that stupid spreadsheet. There was 8 different games that I had. It's fine. I'm over it.
Kino owes Sean a DoorDash for
yeah.
A nice, a McDonald's ice cream sundae.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's a Canada thing, but you guys have what is it? It's pizza pocket, the tiny little pizza bites from McDonald's.
No,
you don't have those. A thing? Am I breaking this news? There's a world of McDonald's thing going on in Canada right now, where there's a teriyaki chicken sandwich, some Quebecois, I think, burger, or German, was it maybe? I don't know.
First off, you know what?
But McDonald's here is doing pizza bites, little tiny pizza bites, deep fried, and they're actually good.
Yo, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Rubbing it in, dude. We got the same menu we've had. They just take shit away. They don't add stuff.
Anarchy.
I guess McDonald's just likes us more.
Probably right now. Anyway.
Ice cream machine is always broken in Canada. That's the worst part. And there's actually a story behind that, but we're going to talk about that
worldwide.
another time.
That's worldwide.
Yeah. Looking at the goals against leaders, Yo-Yo Hockey leading that as well. The only one under 4. He's at a 383. Aquino with a 435. Everybody include your own internet joke here. Bulky Micro. Surprised to not be seeing this guy's name on the other side of things. He's got a 443. He's having himself a great season. Vin with a 511. Easy Dunk with a 521. J-Men Fish, 541. Tied with Tunic. Man, Tunic on this. Who let Tunic go to the Slicers? Because
why?
It hurts my feelings and it was frustrating. He's got a 541. Gritty on here as well. He's got a 544. Section 8 with a 6. And Super Mariota.
Shout out Mariota.
Shout out.
My man. That guy is, season over season, has become just a tremendous goaltender and leader.
Absolutely. Yeah. The work that he did last season with taking over the law firm.
Crazy. And what he's done here with the Lost Boys, they're playoff bound right now.
Yes, sir. And we do have the players of the week for this week. Shout out to the award team for getting that all together. Hatfield bringing in the consensus vote amongst all the members of the award team that do the voting. They've been putting in the work. Appreciate the heck out of them. Looking at our players of the week this week. On offense, we have got Section 8. And just looking at some of the notes that they gave off here, it said it didn't have the most points compared to everybody, but did have a really good plus-minus, lots of hits, best takeaway margin, and some block shots in there too. A solid two-way performance for the Dragons. From what we saw him on the stream, he was doing great. So Shout out Section 8. On defense, they got it wrong. They got Back Blast Dan. What?
Oh, this is a typo.
They say our fearless ex-leader had a lot of assists, a great plus-minus, some hits, blocked shots, and forced a bunch of turnovers. So, shout out Back Blast Dan. Congrats, buddy. Excellent week.
Gracias.
And in net, Biz of the Snipers. Really great week for some goalies, but he edged them out, is what I'm seeing here. They also say honorable mention to Tunic this week. So, shout out Tunic as well, but Biz taking the goalie of the week for week 7. Gentlemen, that is everything we have to go over. We can now free talk, and I can hyperventilate about what the fudge is going to happen 2 weeks from now. I am not okay. There's 3 freaking teams, and one of them is the Dutchman.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. It's not an out of nowhere thing. The Dutchmen went real deep. I mean, they were there. They were on the cusp of greatness last season. I think they know that they didn't have the start that they wanted, but they have such incredible talent. They've made some moves. They've got some good chem, and they're winning games. And they're winning all the right games. So they've put themselves in. I mean, they put themselves in a great spot to potentially go take that number 8 spot. I mean, it's a very real thing. And with how tough I look at, I mean, all 4 of their team, Bravehearts, Degenerates, Dutchmen, and Angry Birds, that schedule, all 4 of those teams have, it's going to be an uphill battle. Every point, those OT games, that point's going to matter big time. But it's just got to be smart hockey all the way around. And you're playing teams that are trying to figure out where they're going to be seeding playoff wise. So it's going to be crazy.
The first game for each one of those 3 teams that's fighting for 8 is the Snipers, the Tribe, and the Blue Dragons. Every one of those teams is walking into battle immediately to start that week off. That is going to be so key. If one of those teams can pull out a win against one of those 3 top teams, I mean, you can't write this stuff. That is a great start. And then Degenerates back-to-back against the Bravehearts and the Dutchmen. They can really solidify with going 2-1 on Tuesday. Can really put them in a great spot. But my goodness, are all 3 teams just looking at some hellacious games.
It's gonna be wild. It's gonna come down to the end, I think, and you also have to factor in possible overtime games, tiebreakers. Oh man, it's gonna be something else.
Yes, sir. I gotta check the rule book here because what is the tiebreaker again? I only wrote the damn thing.
Medieval combat.
Medieval combat. Yeah, that's right. It says whoever has the player that's name is closest to Ronahue. Oh, well, that's good.
I think it's a PGA tournament, actually.
Oh.
I think that's the overtime.
What's
breaker.
up, Pickle? I forgot you joined. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just chilling.
Actually, we simulate the entire playoffs through a Royal Rumble. Which,
Macho Man. We choose Macho Man. We choose Macho Man.
We drop the officially licensed VVHL jerseys into a fish tank where there's an octopus, and the octopus climbs into one of the jerseys.
Whichever
the
one
winner.
he wears first.
We we flip a coin.
As Steven the Octopus, I am taking my talents to the Bravehearts.
We have to find a game that no one's ever played and have them face off in multiplayer.
So it says here, if two teams are tied, we never accounted for 3. If 2 teams are tied heading into the playoffs, the tiebreaker will be head-to-head record between the 2 teams. If that is also tied, the total goal differential will be the second tiebreaker. If it's still tied, then it's regulation wins.
Yeah, then it's tribal combat.
Yeah. I kind of feel like those last 2 should be swapped, but we can't do that for this season. That'll be an off-season thing.
That'll be an off-season change for sure. We'll bring it up.
That would be funny. Hey guys, just hear me out. What if I just did a quick rule change to a team that may directly super benefit my team? Just hear me out.
Hear me out, guys.
We got G Wits with a tier 1 gifted sub there too. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate the hell out of you. But we kind of got it's weird, right? Like there's no teams are locked into a spot, but we do have locked in groups. We know that one of the Bravehearts, Degenerates, or Dutchmen is going to be in that 8th spot. We know the Slicers and Lost Boys are kind of fighting just to flop spots, and that's in 6 and 7. The Hangry Moose and the Sewer Kings are both fighting for that 4 or 5 spot. If the Sewer Kings can go, or if either of these teams, I should say, can go 6 and 0, they can be flirting with that top spot. But for the most part, the big 3 right now at the top are the Tampa Bay Tribe, Blue Dragons, and the South Beach Snipers.
It sounds like you're counting us out there, Sean.
I'm not counting you guys out. I'm just saying 5 points to pick up when there's
That's a little bit
when there's
The
18 points.
The Angry Birds and Himmytown are still technically in this.
They are. I shouldn't count them out by any means, but that would take quite a lot. Well, we have talked about how rough Yeah.
It's going to be a tough schedule for
It would take a lot, but they've been playing really good hockey.
Because I don't listen. You know who I don't want to. As a Sewer King, I don't want to play the Degenerates right now. I don't want to play the Bravehearts. I want to play any of those teams because they gotta win. They gotta win. They will do whatever. And if I'm them, I'm lasers. I mean, we got to be on our toes. No one should be comfortable coming off of this break. No one. It's going to be great.
It is nerve-wracking, for sure. But if you and the Hangry Moose do go 6 and 0 that week, there is a good chance. Vroom, vroom.
We're gonna see. Vroom, vroom.
Yes,
It's gonna be a battle.
I'm trying to do math.
Gonna be a battle.
That just results in me sitting here quietly. Well, hey, it is fantastic season 7. This is everything you wanted storyline-wise going into the final week. And you know what? After that final week, we are right into the playoffs. And it is just going to be so sweet. It is going to be awesome. But for now, since we won't have a stream until then, happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July, everybody. You enjoy your time off. Be safe. Love all you. Appreciate the hell out of all you. I hope wishing you nothing but the best over this week off. Gentlemen, want to do a quick round table? Just call her there.
Sounds good to me.
I think that's how we'll end it off for the night then. Mr.
That's good.
Let's give the first word to Mr. Pickle here. He came in late. Cap, how you doing? Anything you want to say before we go?
It's been a hell of a season. It was better than what we probably all expected it to be. Some shockers, some people standing out. It's been a hell of a season, and be safe on 4th of July.
Well said. Mr.
I really thought you were about to bust out into Bare Naked Ladies. It's been 1 week since it just sounded like that's where you're going with that. I got really excited.
You have a drumstick and your brain starts sticking. Watch it next
That's
time. The lights on. We got the maze on. I hope Smoky Man's in this one. Like Harrison Ford, I'm feeling gentry. Like I'm gentry. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Backblast Dan, how you doing, buddy? Anything to say before we go?
No, I'm just I'm excited for the finish of this season. I'm pumped for playoffs. VV6L has been pretty crazy and a lot of fun. And yeah, man, it's just going to be a really good break. And happy Canada Day, y'all. And have a great 4th of July.
Said he's saying Canada doesn't exist to pickle, I guess. Yeah, it's also Canada Day to pickle, okay? God, it's so insensitive. Sensitive. Mr. Wax Poetic, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, everybody be safe. Have fun. Spend some time with your family. Relax. Get a little rest. Give those thumbs some rest. And come into that last week. Give it everything you got, but don't ever lose sight that we're all here, part of this community. Just, making this thing happen together. So don't lose sight of that. I know everybody gets real competitive and everybody wants it, and that's totally understandable and totally fine. But don't lose sight of who you are. Go out there, compete, and at the end of the day, shake hands and move on. But yeah,
exactly. That's a good point too. Yeah, this is a prime time for emotions to be at an all-time high of the season. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. If anything happens, just create a ticket, message one of us. At the end of the day, we're all here just to have fun and not have this destroy our state of mind. Mediocre Client says pickle sucks. All right. I don't know why I didn't have to read it out.
You know what?
Why do you have to read that? That's hurtful, That's hurtful.
Pickle? Anything?
That.
It was that was supposed
donated bits. It was a highlighted comment.
That's more rough. That just hurts more.
Yeah.
That felt personal.
Oh, we got a message from
Ban that
Twitch.
mediocre guy. I hate that guy. Mediocre says, ban that mediocre.
Yeah. Twitch just emailed us too. We've actually hit the X amount of hours mark to move on to the next tier, and they ended with pickle sucks.
Oh, great.
What?
Everyone's just hating on me. All right, I see how it is. I'm just trying to tell everyone to be safe on the holidays.
That's
don't
so
blow up your
weird.
finger. But it's fine. I'll just shut up.
But only if you're American.
That's right. That's right.
Dude, don't make me go to work because you decided to launch a firework at your house.
At the house? Now that's brazen.
Jeez.
Oh, it's happening.
What if I shot this explosive at the most expensive thing I own?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody. We appreciate you. We love all of you. Happy Canada Day. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy the time off. And we appreciate the hell out of you. And then after all the mushy-dushy, lovey-dovey week, we are into a hellacious Week 8 right before playoffs. Join us here 2 weeks from now on Tuesday, where we'll be bringing you all the action. Take care, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate the heck out of all of you. Vroom, vroom, baby. Have a good Friday.
Vroom,
vroom.
And we'll talk to you soon. Peace out, everybody.